Hey there guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name's John Campea, and this is my story review of the brand new game, God of War. So let me say right off the top here, this is not a review of the gameplay of the game. This is a story review, really a review of the cutscene movies that you can find on YouTube, and they're very, very entertaining. So I just want to give that quick disclaimer. So right off the top, look, the story in God of War, this cutscene movie, and I watched like an 8-hour version of it, is amazing. Flat out one of the best pure narrative stories I've seen in a video game in a long time. I think I may even prefer this story over The Last of Us, and that's saying something. This is a very different Kratos, a very different God of War than any of the ones we've had in the other games. A couple of big noticeable differences. Number one, this one really deals more with the Norse mythology and Norse gods like Odin and Thor and Balder and things like that, as opposed to the Greek gods. Also, they do something pretty spectacular in this game. It's all one camera shot. And it's remarkable the way they do it. It's just a stylistic choice they make, but not something I've really ever seen done before like this, and it really made an impact on me. Okay, so it's a number of years later now. Kratos and his wife are living in a foreign land, and the movie starts with his wife has just died, and they're preparing to do a funeral, and he has a little son by the name of Atreus, and they're preparing a little bit of funeral. Now, Kratos has many skills in life. Good fatherhood is probably not one of them. So right off the bat, they introduce us to this whole dynamic going on that now you've got a father who doesn't know what to do with this son, and it's now just the two of them. And the son is kind of intimidated. It's like, he's always had his mother, now he just has Kratos, his dad, and what he's to do about that. And also, Atreus doesn't know the backstory of Kratos. Atreus doesn't know his father is a god. They decided to keep that a secret from him, and it's a secret that Kratos is committed to trying to keep. So the mother's dying wish was that she be cremated and that Kratos and Atreus take her ashes and spread them on the highest peak in all the realms. And that is really the story of the movie and why I love it so much. It's not another stereotypical, we're going to save the planet, we're going to save the universe. No, this is a very personal, emotional motivation for the main characters to propel them along their hero's journey. It's a desire of a dying woman to have her mate, Kratos, and her son, Atreus, take her ashes and spread them on the highest peak. And it becomes almost like a buddy cop road movie where it's about the developing relationship between Kratos and his son. And that is something that is very rare, a little bit reminiscent of Last of Us as well, but it's something very rare in modern stories, especially in video game stories, and they do it extremely well. Along their journey, they come across some wonderful supporting characters in this movie. Whether it's this pair of dwarf brothers who are both blacksmiths, they're wonderful. Not only are they pretty decent comic relief along the way, but they also contribute a lot to the ongoing progression of the narrative as well. You come across this witch who lives in the world, Freya, and there's more to her than meets the eye. You got one of the main antagonists in the film, which is Balder, Thor's brother, son of Odin, who wants something from Kratos and is trying to get out of him, but Kratos doesn't even know what it is, so you got that whole dynamic going on. The really interesting thing about Balder, too, as the Norse god here and our main antagonist, really, is the fact that he has a curse of not being able to feel pain or death. Now, how is that a curse? They do a great job. I'm not going to give anything away. They do a great job in this story, really relaying how that ability to not feel pain or not being able to die is a curse on him and how much he hates it. It really even makes the antagonist a kind of well-rounded out, fleshed out villain, and it's wonderful. One of the absolute best things this story does that a lot of video game stories kind of do wrong is, look, in every video game, there are side missions and side quests that need to be accomplished. Like, okay, I'll help you with this goal, but first you need to do this for me, and your characters go off to do something completely random that's not connected to the main story. In God of War, everything that Kratos and his son have to do is directly connected to their quest and what they're trying to accomplish, which is ultimately spread, Atreus' mother's ashes on the highest peak in the realms. And there's a lot of twists and turns along the way, but here's the thing. Because every little side quest is not really a side quest, it's everything that's directly connected and tied into the main story, and as a result, as a viewer of this story, as somebody who's listening to the story and watching the story, you are never away from the story. You are always on path to the story. And a lot of video game stories deviate from that. They go off and no, they're telling this little side story. Now you're doing this little side mission that has really nothing to do with the main mission. Everything in this game keeps you on point with the story. As an audience member, you're never not immersed in the story, and the effect of that is fantastic. And I felt like in every stage of this story, something new is being revealed. Like, it doesn't just wait till the end of the story to do all these big reveals. I feel like at every stage along the way, something significant, not just new for the sake of being new, not just revealing something for the sake of revealing something, but something new and significant was being revealed along the way. So you're always just kind of drooling in the mouth, like, what happens next? What's coming next? What does this mean with this? And it's also consistent and coherent. It's beautifully done. The action is great. The visuals are great. The characters are so beautifully developed. Watching this relationship between Kratos and his son grow and develop and go through different stages as they work their way to their ultimate goal is beautiful to watch. The fact that it always stays on story, wonderful supporting characters. Like I said, this is absolutely one of the best stories I've ever seen come out of a video game. And if you're somebody who's looking for something to do this weekend, this coming weekend, if you got 6 to 8 hours to do it, sit down, pop on YouTube and watch this thing. And then if you're like me, you're going to be really motivated to run out and play the game because you're going to want to play it through as you go through the story again. It's just fantastic. Like I said, one of the best I've ever seen, right up there with Last of Us and Injustice Gods Among Us. This is totally a fantastic story. But my question for you guys is, have you had a chance to either watch or play God of War yet? If so, what are your thoughts on the whole story? Jump into the comment section below and leave me your thoughts. And listen, guys, while you're here, why don't you take a quick second, click on that subscribe button, become a subscriber to my YouTube channel, follow me on Twitter simply at John Campea. That'll do it for me, guys. Thanks a lot for being here. My name's John Campea, and until my next video, bye-bye.